Hello and welcome. In this video, we will learn to use break, continue and pass. Alright. Now, these are used in loops. So, let me take an example and explain you how these work. Alright. So, here I will say num is equal to 1. And then I will say while num is less than or equal to 100, print num, and then num is equal to num plus 1. Okay. Now this program prints out numbers from 1 to 100. Okay, let me run this and check it. So we can see that numbers from 1 to 100 have been printed out. Okay, now let me delete this. Now, what I want to do is write a program in which a while loop or a for loop prints out numbers from 1 to 100. But the loop must terminate entirely if it encounters a number that is divisible by 5. Alright. Now, how to do it? Here I have written a program which uses while loop to print numbers from 1 to 100. Right? So here I will say if num divided by 5 is equal to 0, then break. Okay. Now let me run the program. And you can see I get 1, 2, 3 and 4 only. Right? Now let us analyze this program. Let me bring this down. Now, when we run the program, 1 will be stored in num. And then this condition will be checked for the first time. First time, value of num will be 1. Now it will check if 1 is less than or equal to 100. This comes out as true, and so this will be executed once. But here we have an if condition. So this condition will be checked first. If value stored in num divided by 5 gets us any remainder. Now 1 divided by 5 leaves or gives us a remainder, and so this becomes false. When this becomes false, this will not be executed and the control goes to this line. This will be executed, and in the first iteration value of num will be 1. So this is printed out, and in the next line the value of num will be updated to 2. Okay. Next iteration starts here, and now it checks if 2 is less than or equal to 100. This comes out as true, and so next this if condition will be checked. 2 divided by 5, does it leave any remainder? Yes, it does. So this will be skipped and number 2 will be printed out, and we have 2. Next, 2 plus 1, 3 will be stored in num. Next, 3 less than 100 will be checked. This will be true. Next, 3 divided by 5 leaves a remainder, and so 3 will be printed out. Next, 3 plus 1 will be done and 4 will be stored in num. 4 less than or equal to 100 is true, and so next it checks if 4 divided by 5 leaves any remainder. This is false, and so 4 will be printed out like this. Next, 4 plus 1 will be done. The value 5 will be stored in num. Next, 5 less than or equal to 100 will be checked. This comes out as true, and here it checks if 5 divided by 5 leaves out any remainder. Now here 5 divided by 5 does not leave any remainder or give any remainder, and so this becomes true. When this becomes true, this will be executed, and when break is executed, the entire loop terminates. Okay, break terminates the loop entirely. All right, and that is why the program stops at 4. All right, so break terminates the loop entirely. All right, now I will write a program using for loop. Okay, I will say for num in range 1 to 100. I am saying 100 because 101 is exclusive. Okay, print num. Okay, now this program prints out numbers from 1 to 100. Okay, same as the while loop. Now what I want to do is print numbers from 1 to 100, but skip the numbers divisible by 5. I do not want to terminate the loop entirely when a number divisible by 5 is encountered. I just want to skip the iteration and continue the execution. To achieve this, we use continue. Okay, so here I will say if num percentage 5 is equal to 0, continue. Okay, instead of break, I have typed continue. All right, now let me run this program, and you can see all the numbers that are divisible by 5 are skipped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 11. 10 is not there because it is divisible by 5. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 is not there. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 is not there, and so on. Okay, all the numbers that are divisible by 5 are not printed out, meaning in an iteration, when this becomes true, then that particular iteration will be skipped and the next iteration will be started. Okay, so this condition will be true when the value of num will be 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. And whenever these are the values in num, the iteration will be skipped, and so the numbers will not be printed. Okay, so the continue word skips only the current iteration. Okay, it does not stop the loop. All right, next let me delete this and run the program. I will delete this and I will run the program. When I run this, I get an error. This is because I have not typed anything here. Okay. Now, to overcome this, I will type pass. Alright. I will clear this, and now I will run the program, and it prints out all the numbers from 1 to 100. Now this pass does nothing. It is just a placeholder. Sometimes what happens is we may need to write a function or a loop, but don't want to implement logic immediately. So instead of leaving it empty, which will give us an error, we can use pass as a placeholder. Okay, I have written this loop, and maybe I do not know what logic to use here, or maybe I do not know what to type here right now. So instead of leaving this empty, I will type pass here. If I leave it empty, then I will get an error. To prevent that, we use pass. Okay. So pass is just a placeholder. It does not do anything. Alright. So this is how we use break, continue and pass. Break terminates the loop entirely. Continue skips only the current iteration and continues execution. Pass is used as a placeholder. Okay. Yes. So this is it for this video. I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care and thank you for watching.